The Ford Capri. They called it the European Mustang. But let's be honest, in Ireland, she was so much more. She was a rocket ship. She was a statement. She was the reason your Uncle Pat was always late for Mass. And probably the reason for that empty can of harp rolling around the passenger floor. But looking at it, there's that bonnet, the fastback shape. It's pure 1980s glamour.
Ford promised us the car you always promised yourself. For a generation of Irishmen, that promise meant two things. It meant speed, and it meant impressing a girl down at the local dinner dance.
More like convincing her to get into a car with a dodgy radio and a spoiler the size of a picnic bench, after telling her the Capri handled like a dream.
It did in the brochure.
In reality, they handled like a frying pan on a sheet of ice, especially going around the bend down the Boreen on a wet Tuesday night. The rear axle was less cutting edge and more Cortina leftovers.
But the sound, it didn't just drive, it announced itself. A proper loud engine tucked into a chassis and didn't really want to even be there.
It was the automotive equivalent of a hurler wearing a suit of armour. It looked great, but a bit much for the local roads. The 1.3 models couldn't pull the skin off a pudding.
But the 1.3 was a fine example of all show and no go. You'd floor it, and the only thing you'd really speed up was the rust forming on the arches. Like the Capri, it had a story in every village.
As my grandfather always said, the Capri was the hardest car to wash. Not because of the shape, but because you couldn't get a bucket of water near it without someone shouting, "Ah, she's flying, isn't she?"
It was a compliment. It was the ultimate backhanded Irish compliment. You had a Capri and you were automatically a legend until it rained.
Until it rained, the Capri's natural enemy. Because if there's one thing the Capri was famous for, besides looking cool, it was rust. They dissolved like Holy Communion dipped in wine, because rust is lighter than carbon fibre. For some reason, it's still a must-have in Ireland today.
It is. It's a piece of history. It's a time capsule. It's the closest thing a whole generation will get to owning a Ferrari. It was freedom, even if you were just driving to the chipper for a battered sausage. That's if the back end didn't give out. You know how they're a tail happy. Being a popular car, it made them one of Ireland's most crashed cars.
It represents that glorious, slightly daft era when Ford was having a bit of fun. When a car could be impractical, a little unreliable, still be adored, and have enough space in the back for your mother-in-law's turf.
It's not just a car, it's a statement, and it's a rusty memory. For many people, it was the car that taught them how to use a spanner. Anyway, let's take this one for a spin.